Hi everyone, I'm by the names of Yvette. I worked with,
Ange,
yes,
Amali Mutani.
yeah, and we worked together on a project, Guess Who is Coming to Dinner, in the goal of confront culture. And we're going to share among ourselves the results we got from our research. We made different cultures, we researched about our own different cultures, personal cultures that we learned, and then we're going to share and discuss more what are the findings each got, and please follow our discussion. Thank you. Okay, I personally researched on Hawaiian, Hawaii, and Pennsylvania Dutch cuisine, and the own culture field blog which I made was about Kusekura Isombe, which is a subculture in Rwandan culture, the culture. Yeah, and what is your culture you searched about?
Thank you. I also searched about tingling potlatch,
Yes.
and also worked on Japanese rice.
Yeah.
And my field blog was working on Obuganura, a culture in Rwanda.
Wow.
Also, I worked on celebrating party,
Yeah.
Hindu wedding, and my field log was Ubunyano.
Yeah, so let's start from Ange. Tell us how your cultures you researched about, what did you find, what is most interesting about them?
Yeah. Thank you very much. My initial and unique culture is potlatch. This is the ceremony that was it's known well and is being practiced in people called Indians, but Native Americans. So people are like they're people of the region of the northwest Pacific coast. People like they are known to live the other part, northern west. Yeah. And the ceremony was a feast. First of all, a feast. People would be gathered together, neighbors, guests, and whatever, so they could sit down and celebrate. And more of the activities that would take place in the event, they were eating, drinking, dancing, and giving up gifts. So the ceremony was very respectful among these people, and people would like more like the beginning of the season. They could harvest so as to prepare for the potlatch. So among these people, they could even invite people people in other parts, so they could come and share up together. And the uniqueness of the potlatch is that guests and chief and leaders of those regions would destroy properties of any citizens or their guests as a sign of wealth or a property owner or ownership or like grades. And also during the ceremony they could upgrade ranks of armies. Yeah, different activities will take place in there. And as I searched more, the cultures were very interesting. Eating, serving was interesting also because they are different, they are unique. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Thank you. And again, about Japanese rice, the Japanese rice is the it's the main crop of the Japan. So people like much, and this is the first crop that was introduced in Japan, and it's in the ancient times. And they eat a lot of rice. The rice is modified in different ways. They make balls. It's served with sauces. It's served with a lot of things, and it's differently served in locals or in rural areas as well in towns. So one of the other, what I can say about the rituals or beliefs about the Japanese rice is that when a girl in a certain family would get or would receive her first menses or periods, the family would gather together and celebrate by eating the rice. So this was a sign as celebrating the grown up of their girl, and again she's she was developing characters of a woman. So that was it. Is it understandable?
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Very
Yeah.
interesting.
And any question?
Yes, I also have a question. What were the materials, the items that they use in preparing that, that food? I mean, in serving the Japanese rice.
Yeah.
What are the items?
Yeah, the usual one of the most known is called chopsticks.
Okay.
In Chinese, it's called kuakis, things like that.
Yes.
They normally use this to eat. And again, on the Japanese rice, eating by the chopstick, it's easier than eating the Chinese rice. Yeah, that is the difference. And they use normal plates. Yeah, but made in woods with the chopsticks. Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Lastly, I worked on the field log about Umuganura. This is a period of feasting again and harvest. I mean, the harvest and feasting.
Yeah.
So this is a celebration to Rwandans,
Yeah.
Rwandan people.
Yes.
Sorry, they could gather again together.
Okay.
Firstly by a family level and again on the national level. So people would sit down with neighbors, they harvest, was the season of harvesting, and they take the first fruits, they prepare it into foods and drinks, then they gather together, like it was a sign of again unity and respect and love, happiness within Rwandan society. It was the rituals that they mainly used to, they could love to gather and celebrate this event, because it was the day of meeting again among friends, among families, and eat and share conversations, stories, and whatever. So this is an enjoyable event, and above, when it comes to celebrating on the national level, today Rwandans celebrate Umuganda as well, but they normally celebrate success of different departments where the country is, where the country has come from and where it's achieving. For example, if I could say education, they celebrate education level where it's at now. And during the ancient time, about families or royal families, so people would bring up the first fruits, the first harvest fruits and crops. They give it as a gift to the king and leaders and priests, of the country.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's interesting, right?
Sure. Very interesting.
Thank you very much.
You want to hear about me?
Yeah.
I've worked, as I told you, on tailgating party. This is the party originated in the United States of America, and it's occurred when there's a gameplay that is going to take place, mostly football games. And this party is take place, excuse me, at a car parking.
Yes.
And is where people share foods, mostly grilled foods, and the parents bring their children and friends. You see, they share meals, and sometimes they share beer. And when you look at it, during the research that I made, it seems like it's a big part of people, and everyone has his own car and his family. They're making like a family there. And when you look at it, every family make a flag that represent their team, so that each team can say that we have our partner there, so that they can gather together and share meals. And when you come with that food, they are eager to share with you, because it's something that increase happiness and unity among the team fans. So people like it, and everyone, when they know that there's a football game that is taking place, they are eager to go there and at early time, so that they can take a good play. Yeah, and about Hindu wedding, this is a party where two families gather together and they are eager to give blessings to their children, and they call a pastor to give blessings to the bride and groom. Then the family of the bride, they prepare foods, and there's some food that they give their children as a divine of to show that like they're giving blessing to their kids, like coconuts. Yeah, they give to the bride and they share with a groom. And when you see that that party is including more foods like rices, meats, and so that everyone can find it or have a great food. Yeah, and about my feedlot was Ubunyano. It's like a naming ceremony. That ceremony is taking place at a family of a newborn baby, and where friends and relatives of the family come over to meet the baby, but mostly children are the one who suggest name of the baby, and their parents helping the parents of a newborn to organize that ceremony. And in that ceremony, the food that they share is mostly local foods and local drinks like cassava bread, yes, things like that. And when you look at it, it's where parents suggest and give their views of what they want to their baby and what the future that they want for their baby. And when they are naming, they based on seasons. So let's say in winter they have some names that they name baby in winter or in another season of the year. So when you look at it, it's something that brings happiness to the family and brings together the friends and family relatives, where they show parents that they'll take care of their children or their new baby born when in future life, like they are showing that they are welcoming that baby. Yeah, I think that's all about naming arrangement.
I loved the way you explained about the Americans culture. So I just wanted to ask something. Is it celebrated nationally, or it's only among subcultures or some societies?
It depends on the society where the game is taking place. Yeah, they gather together. Thank you. I think you got something in my presentation.
Yeah, sure.
Is there any questions?
Me, I have a question about, how did you, used ethnocentrism during your research? Do you think it really has an impact, a positive impact in your research? If yes, what is it?
As an anthropologist, I've done this as an anthropologist.
Yes.
When you're learning new cultures and people's lives, you need to avoid being biased. Because I have my own culture and they have their own culture. So if I'll be biased, I couldn't find my findings. I'll be having the findings that I want to have than what they have to give me. So I avoid being biased and trying to understand them in terms of my culture. And you find it interest, and I would like to ask you, like, the most thing that you find is familiar or similarity to some cultures that you know. I would like to ask you that you have something.
Yes, actually, something that I found it being very similar to some of the cultures that I as well researched about is, all these ceremonies symbolize happiness. Be in your, in the Hindu weddings, they can't do this ceremony when they are not happy. Even in the Ubunyano, they used to do that because they are happy because of their newborn. So that's the same as my cultures that I researched about. All these ceremonies were done as a symbol of happiness these people had. Yeah.
Ange, do you have anything to add in?
Of course, I have something which I didn't know that nothing can happen about naming babies by seasons. So I normally didn't know about that, but it's interesting and it's new and unique, which is good. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I hope you got something that might be helpful for you in your
Yeah.
future life.
Exactly.
So Yvette, can you take us to another step?
Yeah, sure. Okay, about what I have researched about, I researched about Hawaiian poi and Pennsylvania Dutch cuisine, and in the field of my own culture activity, I researched about Guseku Isombe, which is a very common culture a very common activity in Rwanda, in Rwandan culture. So let me first take you through about the Hawaiian poi, a very interesting food which I really saw. It is made from taro roots, and these the taro roots. They are called taro roots, and these are originally from the people who live in a certain state in the United States of America, and these are they are Indians who migrated in there, and then these people. What they do is they believe that the food should be prepared by their own hands, and they believe that taro roots is actually the main and highly respected food in their culture, because they even believe that it is the origin of their personality, of their nature. So believing that, they respect taro roots, and then from the taro roots they process Hawaiian poi. Hawaiian poi is a sticky food, which is like when it is prepared, it seems like red duck, and it has a slightly sweet flavor, and it is very, very delicious according to the way I actually read it. I felt so interested to even eat it because it is very interesting. And then how the rituals and routines to prepare it. For example, to the ladies, they have to tie back their hair, like because they don't want any hair to be in the Hawaiian poi. So they should tie their hair back. All the nails should be, they should clean the nails. No nail polish should be there, and they should cut their nails as well. If you have, for example, however small it might be, any single cut on your hands, you should not produce, or you should not prepare the Hawaiian poi. And the process of preparing this Hawaiian poi is called kui. So you can't kui if you have any cuts on your hands. Yeah, so they respect it very highly, and this is a culture of the people living in Hawaii Islands in the United States. So taking you through the Pennsylvania Dutch cuisine. This cuisine is mainly composed of the soups made from this culture, for this Dutch cuisine. And for them, what they do, it's basically a culture of the people who migrated from Germany, and they went to live in Pennsylvania and yeah, so when they went there, they have their native culture. And the most restriction they have about preparing their food. First, they eat the food they got from their own farms. Either they cultivated them from their own farms, or butchered them from their pigs, from their cows, cattle, from their own farms. And in addition to that, they prepare them for themselves. And there is a very serious restriction on electricity use while they are preparing their food. That means no use of microwaves, no use of refrigerators, no use of those electric machines. So what they want is, if even if they use such machines, it's except when they are gas powered, when they use gas, not electricity. So that's their ritual and tradition about preparing their food. They never use electricity. And yeah, they believe they get the food they have prepared from their own hands, scratch from their own hands, cultivate them, prepare them until they eat them. And another thing, they have 3 meals a day, a very heavy breakfast, a lunch, which they call it hamish, like stuff like that. And then they have, it's called mesh, the lunch, and then the dinner, which is also very, very heavy because they take it generally after a very busy day. They are very hardworking people. And also something else very interesting is the most important food to them is called chicken pit poi. Yeah, so it is a chicken made food. So they take it very, very important to them. They even advertise it in churches, sensibilize people to even use it in their birthday celebrations. So they respect it very high, they love it. So it's a very important meal in their culture. About first of all, do you understand? Have you understood everything about
I got immersed in your presentation, so I was thinking
it's interesting. Yeah. What is the question you have about, for example, the Hawaiian koi?
I would like to know more about the rituals of Hawaiian koi. How does it go?
Yeah. Basically, the rituals, especially maybe in preparation, they don't prefer, for example, to take it immediately after they prepare it. So they have to first conserve it somewhere. After 2 days, they believe now it has been well prepared, and it develops a sour taste, which is what they're looking for. And also, all those traditions to cut the nails, to clean all the nail polish, tie back your hair. For the men, they have to remove up clothes. So they respect this food very much, and when they're preparing it, they make sure every tradition is made very well. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So my question is, does in Pennsylvania, does the culture still exist? They still perform that, or?
Definitely, they still perform that, and according to the history that I've just read, they say these people are very conservative on their culture. They have actually denied to allow any other culture to actually dominate them. So they still practice it, even though some people take them as ordinary, as extraordinary people, or as people who are back tradition, but they love that and they keep that tradition. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So let me take you through about receptors on the activity. I even tested this Sunday, and it was so nice when I was conducting that field log research. Oh, it was so nice. Like the way they prepare it. First, they have isekuro is an item they use while they're crushing these their cassava leaves actually, which they crush them completely, and they're like, they become very, very soft and small and thin. And then when they're over, we prepare them with the oil, with palm oil, with the peanut flour, and the onions and everything. But again, it varies from one culture to another. For the culture which I researched about, it's in the southern part of Rwanda. They don't put in much ingredients. They only prefer palm oil and peanut flour. So no many ingredients. Yeah, and then what they do is they basically do this activity to celebrate certain ceremony to share food with friends when they are sharing happiness with them, and yeah, and they love it so much. And the people who are mainly delegated this task are women, ladies and women. Those are the people who should actually prepare it much more than others. So yeah, so that's how it is. You have any question about it?
Why the women's?
Yeah. Well, it's among the traditions, the rituals of that culture. So they believe that women are the most appropriate people to prepare generally food. But when it comes to this type, isombe, they are very restricted to women to do this activity. But of course, if they have some young kids who are even boys, they can help them crushing these cassava leaves. But again, women are the ones who are going to prepare the food.
So you say that they are cassava leaves,
Yes.
and on the other hand they are isombe. So is there any other type of isombe or cassava, or it's just call it isombe?
Actually, the isombe, these are crushed cassava leaves. So the cassava leaves are called cassava leaves when they're still there, but when they're crushed, they are isombe now.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's how it is. Yeah. So you understand everything about it? Yeah, great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're going on learning about similarities and again differences among these cultures that we've learned about and we've come in to share about.
Yes.
So, may I be starting by Amalie telling us what we found about similarities and again a difference about the cultures?
Actually, as you know, we cannot have similar culture or similar rituals. And as you were telling us about your culture, I tried to find some similarities about cultures as well as mine, and I found that it's all about happiness and uniting people. As long as people are gathered more than one, more than two, to celebrate, it's all about happiness. For example, in Tingliti Potlatch, in Pacifica Northwestern, as Ange told us, that's a party that where people gather together to celebrate. Also in Japan, they have Japanese rice. Also in Rwanda, we have Ubunyano, naming ceremony where people come. So it means every culture have something that shares as the other one. About differences, same as you cannot have things in common. Every culture has something unique as their uniqueness. Let's say in Rwanda, they have isombe, as Yvette told us. The way they serve it, the way they prepare it, as she told us about how it goes. You have to be having sekuru, you have to be having cassava leaves. So it's different with someone who be preparing rice in Hindu wedding, because you need to boil water and the rice. So that's the differences that you'll be finding in different cultures.
Yeah. Okay, the similarity which I actually found among all the cultures we learned about is that all of these cultures, we talked about they share, as you said, they share happiness, and we cannot share happiness with only one person, so it requires more than one person. So I saw that in all these cultures we learned about, they all involve more than one person. So if it's in Hindu wedding, they need a groom's family, they need a bride's family, they need friends nearby. So that means more people come together, they celebrate happiness. If we talk about Usekwisam, only one person will not do this. They need some young ladies who are going to crush this cassava leaves. You have this one who is going now to cook it. So it's going to take more than one person to prepare this food. If we talk about, the Tlingit potlatch, you told us that, these are the activities that, people are doing, these ceremonies, they share their food, they share everything, they share happiness. That means this is not one person. more than one person. So that's the similarity which I just saw among across the 9 cultures which starts about they require more than one person. And the difference which I saw are about the items they use to serve their food. For example, he told us in the Japanese rice that they use those chips, the chopsticks. And in Rwandan culture they used imbehe, and in Hindu wedding culture they use other different materials. The Hawaiian code they use other materials which are completely different. So I found the items they use while serving this food are completely different across these cultures. Yeah. So what have you found about the similarities and differences?
Yeah, one remarkable similarity among these whole group of cultures is that people gather together for one thing: unity, harmony, sharing, and love. That's it. So when people are unified, when people love each one, they get together to celebrate. So giving an example in potlatches, people, they invite people, like anyone is invited. Guests, everyone in each level is invited. So in Rwandan's families, royal families, nations, they gather together only for sharing, and the love they have, they unify them together and they share. So the other difference is that there's always a difference when it comes to personalities or even people, nations, cultures. So one big difference is that the food they serve. So giving an example of Rwandan culture, they serve what is called, if I learn it, what is called sobe.
Yes.
But in Tingliti potlatch, they serve what is called granola. Yeah, granola, it's a mixture of seeds, nuts, sugars. Yeah, they put them together in one bowl and eat. So that is different. And the way they serve it, like they began on guests, and they are served in bulk. I mean, in larger quantities. Yeah, that's the way they are different about foods. Yeah.
Yes, like we learned at the beginning of this project. We learned to first think like anthropologists when you're going to conduct this research. And I think we have actually talked about it, like the way Amadi shared with us how she tried to avoid ethnocentrism, trying to avoid to be ethically or culturally biased, and how it helped her. That was the same to me, and I hope it helped you as well, because you got some really amazing data. But for example, what do you think the cultural relativity, trying to relate yourself with the culture that we was researching about, what do you think it's really helped you?
Thank you. About the cultural relativity, is one word that goes hand in hand with an individual understanding others' culture, either when they are different or they are similar. So you can yourself put yourself into the shoes of people of other societies, respect it and understand it. So when maybe if I can say I went on and about the research about Umuganura, I had that chance of sitting together with people in southern province of Rwanda. So actually that is the place where the royal families lived, and that is the place where the king's palace is situated. So people around it really respect traditions. So that is why they normally spend their times and gathering together again. And they told me that this is something that we respect much. So that is it, and I understand it. I enjoyed being with them because they told me a lot about the traditions, Uganda, the food. Yeah, they normally told me big and important information about it. Yeah.
Yeah, Amanda, do you think it's the importance of this, cultural relativity, or do you think it helps?
As she said, own culture and others' culture, you have to relate what they think. That's why we have found some similarities and differences.
Yeah.
It allows to understand others, and either you can even meet someone from there and try to understand him in his ways of language, cultural life. So I feel like cultural relative, to know that is very important in social life. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. Me too. I think it even helped us to enjoy the cultures that we were reading, because you try to relate to it when they talk about, ladies have to clean all their nail polishes. I could understand how, they first went and get busy cleaning everything and then come back to prepare their food. So relating with that culture, even in your mind as an anthropologist, it really helps you to enjoy the research and then come up with a tangible data. Yeah. So thank you very much for your attention. As a conclusion, we learned a lot from this project. First of all, working as a team, as each team member had a certain task to work on, and we are glad everyone completed very successfully her work, her responsibility, and we came up with our research findings, and and even in this discussion, we learned a lot. We learned from different cultures of the people of the countries that we researched about. And it was an amazing journey, an amazing experience that we had, and thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you.